All right, everyone. Welcome to another Practice to Perfect. And today we're going to go over more of that bulletproofing your sphere of influence. And today we're really going to talk about what segments look like, because segments are super important. I think we overlook them a little bit in our industry. And the importance of segments is really, it's how you're going to communicate to your database, right? Because the way that we're going to communicate to our family in our database is a lot different than we're going to communicate to a geographical farm that we may have established a relationship with. So we're going to listen to Gene Rivers talk about the importance of segmenting. Then we're going to look at this worksheet and kind of mastermind and break down some of the different pieces that we should be thinking about as we are adding people into our CRM. So with that being said, let's jump over to the video.
Who is it? How do you segment it? And how do you set yourself up for high success in doing so? This slide shows you 6 areas of people that you call sphere. The bottom line is, with all of these people, you have a distant or very close relationship and everything in the middle. And the funny thing about this is people that have a somewhat close relationship with you, like some of your friends, have never used you and never referred you. And the flip side of that is that there are people you really don't know. They were a customer and they closed, and they have sent you 3 pieces of business in the last 4 years, and they're a distant relationship. So understand the gap between those two is often information, education, appreciation, and asking for the order. So apparently you did it right with the person you weren't connected with very much, and maybe you're not doing it right with the people you are connected with at a higher level. We're going to talk about those issues in this segment about how you separate them out. If you look at this slide, what it's talking about is the actual different kinds of groups and kind of segmenting you need to think about. There are a lot of people in general, if you build your business up, you deal with. It's obviously your family members. It's obviously your friends. It's people that you network with. And a lot of agents do this, but they don't think about it formally. Anywhere you go routinely, I got 4 kids. If we took our kids to school every single morning, we can just go there, open the door, kiss the kids, send them out the door, close the door, and leave. Or we can go early and let our kid go see their teachers early and maybe get some help on a lesson. But we can also stand around out front and help the parents drop their kids off, help the teachers that are trying to coordinate that, and talk with all the parents.
Guys, so first and foremost, I think this is hugely important, right? Gene said 2 different things. Gene said, one, that there's going to be a lot of times that we're going to be in this relationship with people, and that we're going to see our friends and family go with another real estate agent, right? And I know that I'm not the only person that that's happened to. And first and foremost, it's super frustrating. And second off, it's our fault, right? Because I think that a lot of times we get into the mindset that where we think that they don't know us as a real estate agent. And so we don't want to bother them or be salesy. And this is the thing. If they're going to transact business, they're going to transact business with someone, and it might as well be us, right? Because who else cares for these people as much as we do? Is it in our friends and families in our close sphere's best interest to do business with someone that they found on a third-party aggregator? Or are we going to give them better service because we know them, like them, and trust them, and they know, like, and trust us as well? The second piece that Gene was just talking about is, how often do we find ourselves going into a space where we're trying to get in and out as quick as possible so that we don't have to have a conversation with anyone, right? I know myself personally, there are times where I go to a self-checkout so that I don't have to interact with anyone, that I can get in and out as quick as possible. What does it look like to actually get into a line to where you can actually have a conversation with the people in front of you, behind you, and then spark that real estate conversation, right? We always talk about when you first get into the business and we're handing you that name badge, right? And we're like, wear it upside down, walk into the supermarket and someone is going to have a conversation with you to try to help you out to get it flipped the right way. And oh my gosh, you're a real estate agent with Keller Williams. How's the market? Right? So what does it look like if we're going to these different places and we do get there a little bit early to spark some conversations, whether we're in a bowling league or we're meeting someone at a restaurant and we go and we spark a conversation up at the bar before we get seated, right? Guys, there's opportunities all around us. We understand that this is a contact sport. And with it being a contact sport, we just need to be going and getting as many at-bats as possible and have as many conversations as possible, because then we have as many opportunities as there truly are.
My wife and I have 4 kids, and we have done exactly that, because my thinking about lead gen is anywhere I go regularly, I'm going to have the opportunity to build relationships. And if I do that, I have the opportunity to get more business. So going to the grocery store, going to the school, going to the place you eat lunch all the time, anywhere you go repeatedly, you need to think about having those people in groups. Because the truth is, if I'm going to see you regularly and I'm not marketing or mailing to you, I'm missing huge opportunities. So think about these groups. People that have bought or sold with you are obvious. People that have referred you multiple times are obvious. There's people who support your business in a clear and undeniable manner. Again, buying or selling with you multiple times, referring you multiple times, that need to be in the specialist of all groups. These are the people that we want to cater to and shower love on, because the truth is, we do need to be grateful and humble about this. If someone sends you $10,000, $5,000, $20,000 as a single referral, a piece of business, and they do it again, and then they do it again, and in 3 years they've sent you $30,000, $40,000, $60,000, you need to be grateful, and you need to give them time and appreciation. And
guys, I think of 2 things as well when Gene talks about this, right? The first thing that he said was that lunch, right? And that comes from How to Win Friends and Influence People. I don't know if anyone's read that book, but what that book talks about is actually that you have like your go-to spot where you're constantly taking your meetings, or you're constantly having your lunch, and that people know who you are, right? And then what we're able to do is, as we're networking and people are constantly seeing us and getting more comfortable with us, right? They're gonna have conversations with us, and they're gonna say, you know what, I always see you in here. Hi, what's your name? What do you do for a living, right? And we can start cultivating those relationships. The second piece of what he's talking about, right, is who are we pouring into at a high level, right? You guys, with our average price point here in Colorado, right, we're seeing $15,000 commission checks. Are we pouring into people at a very high level so that they're actually thinking about us? Because the everyone that's outside the industry believes that we make a lot of money, and we do, right? But we work hard for that money. So what are we doing to get out there to cultivate the relationships, to build up this cheerleading section for us to where we are the real estate economists of choice? When we're going through here, we need to be thinking about, are we doing things to get in front of our people as much as possible? And are we rewarding, right? Rewarding the actions, not rewarding the outcome, right? Because if we reward the outcome, that is illegal, right? We're not allowed to give out referral success fees to unlicensed agents. But what we can do is thank you for thinking of me. Here is X, right? As a marketing piece, right? We're allowed to send out marketing dollars for people that are actually sending us referrals. We cannot send them a success-based referral though. So if I have a closing, I can't send someone $1,000 thank you, but I can send someone, a gift card, or take them out to lunch, or whatever that looks like, for them actually going through and referring me business. So make sure that we're thinking about this as we're going through this section as well.
Genuine appreciation is like adding rocket fuel to someone who's already referring you. They can become your biggest fan of all time. Pay attention to people and their behaviors, and understand that referring you is not about a closing. Referring you is simply someone gives you an opportunity. And that in terms of psychological development of a referral source, you want to reward the behavior you want repeated as soon as the behavior happens. And most agents don't do this, but you need to understand whether it's an immediate same day card sent out by command, or it is a flowers sent or chocolate sent or a mug sent. The fastest you can send an appreciation, the better, the more likely it is that they're going to repeat that behavior. The whole point about segmenting these groups is to understand you have limited time and you're going to work these people through lead generation, which is two things: prospecting and marketing. And marketing will go to everybody. Ideally, prospecting, meaning on the phone, emailing, texting, or face-to-face. Ideally, all of that would happen with everybody. But the truth is, if your database grows over time, it's not going to happen. We have 5,600 past clients. We're not going to talk on the phone or see the majority of them. We're not. It's just too many. And we have enough sales opportunities as it is that we don't have time to waste. So we're servicing current opportunities and creating new opportunities, but we're putting a bet down on the most logical place to make a phone call and not call people who've never supported us, even though we tried to get them to start referring us for a year and they never did. We're not going to make a bad bet. We're going to make good bets. So you want to focus on your core people at a very high level, and those people will get mail, they'll get calls, and they will get eyeballs, meaning you'll see them. Cup of coffee, lunch, dinner, parties at your home, or take them out to parties, events. They'll always be invited to your client events. They'll always be invited to your charitable fundraisers. They'll always be invited to movie night. I mean, they'll always be invited. And the funny thing is, the people that really support you at a high level, they don't need any of that to refer you. But the fact that you don't reward the behavior psychologically tends to create less of the behavior.
So when we start thinking about this, everyone, what Gene's referring to is that our 36 touch systems are going to look different depending on who we are talking to, right? If I'm talking to one group where they're my core advocates, right? And we're going to talk about this a little bit, where we're going to have 100 core advocates to where their 36 touch is going to get a little bit more love from us, right? To where they're going to be invited to client appreciation events. They're going to be invited to, maybe we're going to go do some Top Golf, or we're going to do coffee or dinner over at my house and different things, right? And we're not going to bring all over 100 at the same time. And they're going to get different text messages from us. They're going to get calls from us. We're going to maybe do a pop by and stop by at either their place of work or in person. We're going to send them tangible items outside of different mailers and pieces, right? It's hey, I'm thinking about you. And then our other 36 touch that we're talking about is for the 36, the 36 touches that aren't going to require a lot of time. They are more marketing based, right? When we start thinking about the MREA, we think about prospecting and we think about marketing, right? Prospecting is going to be a lot of time-based pieces. We're going to get face-to-face, voice-to-voice, do these different pieces. And we know those are higher impact and they're going to cost us more of our time. So these efforts, we should be spending to people that are closer in proximity to doing business with us. And these are the people that we have great relationships with, to where if someone mentions real estate, they're thinking about us and they're plugging our name. The other 36 touch is going to be very, very marketing based, to where it's passive. There's a little bit of set it and forget it going on. And then it is the mail outs, maybe from the title company in different pieces, right? So don't spend a lot of your time on people that aren't in close proximity. Yes, we're going to have to pick up the phone every once in a while and call those people, but we definitely need to be calling and touching the people that are in our lives that are definitely core advocates, that if someone says real estate, they think of us and they are saying there's no other person that person should be using outside of us. And guys, I don't care who this is. This could be your mom. This could be your best friend from high school. This could be insert whoever here. They don't have to have done business with you, right? They know that you're a good person. They know that you're customer service oriented and that they would never ever use anyone else when they are ready to transact business. So be thinking about that, right? As we're going through this, be thinking about your cell phone and be thinking about who those 100 people are as we're going through this. And this is what I would challenge you at the end of this class. Go through your cell phone and label it 1 through 100 and start going through and saying, these are my 100 people that I am going to make a commitment to this year, 2022, to start cultivating that relationship with, so that when someone does enter into their ecosystem that mentions real estate, they're thinking of me.
They don't need it. They don't do it for the movie theater. They don't do it for the dinner. But because you do it, they keep doing it. And that's the point, is rewarding their behavior. So you have to think about the people who bought or sold with you. Everybody that buys or sells with you, we already discussed this, they're in the zone where if you can create the behavior of referring you, they'll do it again. And if you don't get a referral in the first 12 months post-closing, you're probably not going to get a referral. That means your touch program with a past client who just closed should be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then 180 days, 270 days, and 1 year anniversary of their closing. You need to be touching them aggressively. You're going to be touching them 6 times in the first year, thanking them for the business, reminding them that your business is built on referrals, and asking them, did I treat you the way you would want your family members, friends, and coworkers to be treated if they too were buying or selling real estate? And when they say, yeah, it was great, it was my 3rd purchase and you guys are awesome, wonderful, then what family member or friend could we help the way we helped you? And that would be the best gift you could ever give us for the service we gave you. Now that's a script, and you will have scripts available to you in this program. So you need to think about who you see regularly. You need to see who you need to see regularly, and take those 2 ideas and create these groups, and then you will be setting up touch programs to work them. This is the activity. The activity is what you need to do in order to get staged to take advantage of this training. So you're going to do this.
Guys, we'll talk about the activity here. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab it. After I move all these around, let me copy this link, and I'm going to post it in the chat. For those that are not with us or unable to grab it out of the chat, just let me know offline, and I'll send you this. But guys, this is what this is looking like, right? And let me just give some social proof about what Gene just talked about. I think that some of the things that we need to be doing, right, is think about their first holiday in a home. Right? I know that there's some of you that just had a closing, right? Holidays coming up. What can you say? Here's for your first 4th of July in your new home, your first Easter in your new home, your first Christmas in your new home, for Happy New Year in your new home, right? And you're plugging throughout the whole year, guys. It is their new home for every milestone that is happening from the day that they bought it for another 365 days. So I want you to be conscientiously thinking about this, right? This will be their first insert whatever here for 365 days. And that is huge. You help them do this. As well as I can tell you that this has turned into opportunities for myself and Aaron as well, when we've gone through and we've helped people buy and sell houses. And you're going through and you're sending them a thank you card for doing business with you. You're doing these other little touch points throughout the year. They think about you. They're in conversations with someone else, and someone else mentions that they're looking to buy a house. They will think of you and say, you need to use this person. They were awesome. And you also heard Gene talk about, like, you're going through and you're just asking them questions like, hey, I just wanted to touch base, and I hope that you're happy with your home. Wanted us to see how the transaction went. If you were happy with everything that went on with the services that I provided, was there anything that I could change? I appreciate your feedback. I trust your feedback, right? And he's just going through and sparking it for, I like to do business with people like you Do you know anyone that might be looking to buy or sell real estate that I could help? And even if they say no, guys, guess what? You're like, hey, awesome. I super appreciate that you took time to think about that. And I know that you're going to be having conversations with other people in the future. Would you mind if I just followed up and see if there's anyone? Right? Because now you're priming them to think, who should I be on the lookout for that I can refer business to? Right? And that's what this looks like. So this is what Gene was talking to us about defining and categorizing our sphere, right? And it says it's important to understand who is in your sphere and how to define and categorize them to best serve your business. Your strong ties to these people motivate them to promote your business regularly. When you request a call to action, they respond. These are the people in your life who are willing allies of yours and promote you to their sphere of influence. So, guys, when we're thinking about this, it says avoid having names on your sphere in several different locations. Consolidate all of your identified sphere into one database. So first and foremost, right, we have our cell phones, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Twitter, we have emails, right? We have a lot of different places where a lot of different information is. And I'm not telling you to abandon all those places. What I am going to challenge you to do, though, is get very hyper focused onto that 100, right? This is only going to be about those 100 for now, right? And let's have them all in one place. If you guys are using Command, the CRM that we have at Keller Williams, awesome. If you're using insert whatever CRM here, awesome. Guys, it does not matter what you use as long as you're using something, because it is very, very important to strategically and systematically communicate out to our database. So as we're going through this, it says, here are some of the different pieces. We have family, friends, past clients, people that referred me, allied resources. Guys, and the allied resources is important. And I can tell you this, I have seen numerous times in our brokerage where our allied resources that are there have used agents in our building to buy and sell houses and have referred people to buy and sell houses because of the relationship that our agents have cultivated with these allied resources. So don't sleep on this, because I think that the allied resources is one that we kind of let slip a little bit. Parents or children of friends, guys, this is huge, right? I can tell you that this is a big one, right? Especially in my age demographic, right, where I grew up with a lot of these people, to where I've been with their kids for a long time. Their parents watched me grow up, and I've lived in the Arvada area for a long time now. And I will go to parties because my friends are having kids now. And we will go to the 5-year-old's birthday party, the 6-year-old's birthday party, and I'm talking to the grandparents and the grandparents' siblings, right? And these are the people that are looking to buy and sell houses right now. So what are we doing to get into a stronger relationship? And do they see us as the real estate economist of choice? People in your community association or religious associations, right? If you guys were to go talk to Ron in our office, right? He's a part of the Optimist Club. He is a part of Chambers of Commerce. He's a part of other churches, and he does some business in these groups, guys. So this is someone, right? In the very beginning of this, Gene was challenging us. Don't show up right before it starts and leave right as it ends. This is something where, what does it look like to show up 15 minutes early? Stay 15 minutes late and cultivate the relationships, because these people are going to be seeing us every week. What are we doing to build the relationships up? And then social media connections. So guys, when we go through here, the second piece is to segment or group your list into common themes, interests, or values. And these are some of the ideas. And this is what I would challenge you to do. Go through your CRM right now and see how you're tagging people, right? This is what it's talking about. These are segments. These are tags. So I think that a lot of times we get into the habits where we say dog walk, or met here, or met there. And that's great. Those should be in our notes, right? To where I'm actually going into the actual contact and I say, awesome, I met this person on this date doing this activity, right? Because that's a conversation that I could be having later on down the road. Hey, just wanted to call and see if you're still walking your dog over at this dog park. How is Scruffy, whatever the dog's name is, right? that's not how we want to tag people. We want to tag people in clumps of groups so that we can actually communicate out to them all the same way. So if I were to go through and if I were to tag someone as a past client, the past client tag will give me a couple different pieces. It will say that maybe I'm doing a past client event, right? And that all the people that fall into that tag, I'm going to send them all an invite. If I'm going to go through to where it says my top 100 advocates, right? These are people that I know, like, and trust. These people might be someone that I'm going to invite to a picnic, right? Guys, and this doesn't have to be exorbitant, right? This could be a bring your own picnic. We have agents in our office that do this. They do a bring your own picnic event. They go and they rent the place. They bring all the games, right? And they even might coordinate the food trucks and different things like that. Your clients can pay for this stuff, guys. I don't want you to think that like all these things are going to cost dollars. So don't be afraid to experiment with some of these things. If they have strong ties to your close friends or family, right? You might have a family tag. You might have something in here to where you could actually click that list. And once you click that list, you're going to take action on those people. And you don't need 20, 30, 40 different tags. Like I said, don't put dog park unless you sponsor a dog park and you're going to do different things around it. If you're going to put bowling, right, as an example, make sure that you have a list of bowling people that you're going to communicate out a lot differently to, right? Like to where you're going to put on a tournament, or, hey guys, we have this going on this week. Just wanted to make sure that you're good. Or your marketing collateral is going to tie in homes with bowling, right? That's what these tags are for. They are systematically in place to help us strategically communicate out to that group. And if you have 100 different tags, how can you honestly go through there and say, I'm going to talk to this person this way, this person another way? Large groups of people. And then when it goes through, guys, this is what it's challenging us to do. It says in context, enter your sphere names and complete the contact info, right? So I challenge you all to get out a piece of paper and go through your cell phone and list 100 people that you're going to get into very, very deep relationships with in 2022. Go through from there, and then you're going to set up custom tags. Some of these tags are already created, right? Your SOI, allied resources, different pieces like this. And you need to be thinking about who is in your world to where you have a custom tag associated with them, right? These might be people with, if you are a dual career agent, right? To where these might be some of your coworkers that you might be systematically communicating out to, right? This might be your spouses or significant others coworkers as well, right? You might be in a relationship where you are actually going out to dinner parties and other things with your spouse's network. So these are different things that you need to be thinking of. This is a contact sport. There's multiple relationships. Can I create a list big enough to where I can take massive action if I were to click that list and work one day? And then is yours repeat and referral clients, right? Like that's a tag that's already in there. Friends and families, and we're going to segment them differently, right? And some people might have 2, 3 tags, and that's okay, right? I might have my sphere of influence / family, right? / whatever client or community event, right? My family might live in my community. They're obviously my sphere of influence. They're obviously my family. And if I were to pull through any of those tags and they funnel down into my communication, it's all going to be okay, right? Because that's how we communicate with them.